Hey there everyone, welcome back to Best Green Homestead. Not sure if I'm going to include this in a previous video we recorded or we're going to do it on its own video, but here you can see this is another property where we have all of the geese, and in the far background you can see, I'm not really pointing in the right direction, but there's the cows. There's a Black Angus, two Black Angus and a Highlander. So the cows and the geese were down in this area all winter long. They had this 50-foot Gothic Pro caterpillar tunnel for to lay their eggs in. They had their food in there and whatnot. And the geese, of course, are laying their eggs randomly on pasture. There's some eggs over here right now. This is due to be rotated. We've been really busy, but a little behind. But we are moving these geese and separating them for breeding. Some of the eggs we have might be crosses, but geese tend to mate for life and pair up. So we got pairs when we got them, a lot of them, and they are paired up. And they should be purebred that we're currently hatching. Our first geese are actually hatching as I speak. And these geese are going way back, close to that tree line. There's a pond right back here where those just in front of those piles of dirt. We've had the geese in the pond there before, and the ducks and whatnot. And they're going to be going back here, and they're going to be rotating through fields of cultivated cedar trees. So we're using the geese as lawnmowers and weeders and organic fertilizers in the cedar tree farm, and they benefit one another in a permaculture, regenerative agriculture cycle with the rotational pastured poultry, and the pasture benefits from the birds, and the birds benefit from the pasture, and it gets better year after year. And we can show you behind me how a lot of that has already improved. See how green it is beyond this fence where it rested? This will be even greener than that once they move. And you can see these cedar trees. That's kind of just a makeshift structure we had when we had some meat birds here. A lot of these cedar trees have been dug out and used, but so it's like a golf green in here. They got down in here for the first time last spring when we got going with the geese, and they have transformed it, and it's way better, and it's saved a lot of labor. So a lot of people use, like I said, these geese and ducks in the orchards. And you can see Barred Rock Rooster crowing there. So we got the Barred Rock chickens in with these guys right now. But yeah, so there you see how nice it's gonna get. It's really long and way overgrown in some of these areas, and it's a ton of labor to brush cut and whippersnip, and it doesn't do near as good of a job, so we're gonna use them to regenerate this land even better. It's already great. It used to be an alpaca farm years and years ago, so it's nice pasture. It's a spring. It hasn't been growing very much. It just got going again, but the cows have it mowed down pretty good. Cows are gonna rotate in another pasture that's been resting, and then we'll come back down here eventually. But here, I'll have the camera around. There, turn the camera around and kind of show you a little more. So we have the electric poultry netting around the geese here and around the fence to keep the cows out from where the geese are. We did have them together in the past, and then you can see a chicken right now drinking out of the automatic water, which goes to a hose to these IBC totes I'm currently standing on. And that is a kind of remote, call it off-grid, in a sense, watering system that we're going to be able to bring. We're also going to have a hay wagon with even a bigger watering tote on it, and we can bring it around to all these pastures where the geese are going to be, as we're going to be growing the flocks of geese, probably in the hundreds, as tools to mow these and improve the pastures and do the work for us. And in the process, we can get some meat, we can breed some geese, and get some eggs for eating out of them. If we want to eat some of the eggs, we'll probably have some we're going to have chickens and ducks on this pasture as well. So you can see here, I believe it's 9 electric poultry netting that goes around this whole area. And like I said before, it gets exponential, and it goes way over here, all the way up, and it's this whole bottom field. It's around probably 3 to 5 acres, if I'm guessing, that they have right here. And anyways, I'll sum up this video. Maybe I'll come down and show you. Okay, the geese are gonna be afraid of me here, but here's some of the Plymouth barred rocks. Emden geese are the white ones. We got the gray Chinese, and then we got a few pilgrim in here as well. Trying to see where the pilgrim are. There's a couple of the female pilgrim there. They look much like the gray Chinese, but they have the beak like the Emdens, the orange beak. So, and the females have some white on their face. They get more white as they mature for egg laying. The cows were here at one point. It's a little compressed down. You can see this is kind of at the end of a pasture rotation, and you can see what it looks like at the beginning, and you'll be able to see how lush and amazing this is after they've fertilized it in a couple of weeks when it's had time to rest and regenerate. Got a couple goose eggs here. Of course, they're lying randomly. I guess there was some straw here. But the geese have this, of course, mowed like a golf green, just like cows or sheep would. More so, we don't like them to mow it down this low, but it's spring and it's really just started growing, so they're eating it as it's growing. Normally you want longer grass because, especially ruminants, they can get worms and stuff if they eat it too short. So you want the longer grass. You want them to only have to eat a couple inches at the most from the ground, and rotate them there once the grass is about 6 inches or so, even more possibly. So those will be hatching eggs going in the new incubators. We got a new incubator that arrived today. We'll show you a review video of that. We're gonna record a video of that probably tonight, and I'm not sure when that'll be posted, but here you can hear the electric netting grounding out. Not sure if you can hear that, but you can hear it tick. So that's one thing you can do with your electric poultry netting is if you hear it grounding out, you can try and lift it up. Sometimes I put a little wood or something rubber on there to stop it from grounding out. But if it is grounding out, normally it still does function. The more it grounds out, the less effective it's going to be. But most of the predators in this area, we see coyotes on the trail cam back there all the time. I was able to kill one after they killed a bunch of our geese. I went hunting for it and tracked it down. I got some pictures of Instagram of that. Coyotes are open season, along with fox all year long for hunting, as they are a problem in our area. They're overpopulated and cause a lot of problems for farmers and whatnot. But anyways, there's the animals on this big pasture. And you can tell how happy they are. The cows are just grazing away down there. Normally they run up to us, but they're loving the fresh green grass that's been growing with the rain and sunshine we've been getting. These chickens are following me around. I think the feeders are due to be filled up. A couple of these girls look like they're the rooster's favorite. That does happen sometimes. Might get some, what do they call them? A little covering on their back. You can make them a little skirt kind of thing with some clothing or whatever that you sew up. But we got another rooster to put in with these girls to increase fertility a little bit, a younger rooster. And we like to have some extras just in case. You never know if one gets out or gets caught by a predator somehow. Our fences are 100% effective as long as we keep them in good condition, but we don't. Sometimes we miss something or they blow over in the wind, and we've lost some birds in the past that way. But it does happen, but it's a lot more effective than free range. Everything would be dead here if we tried to free range them, even with guard dogs. I don't think free range, in the sense that people see, is feasible. They're going to stay to the one area they like and dirty up that one area. So you see how this is used up. The birds like to stay near their coop, or their greenhouse in this case, where they like to lay their eggs, and that's their home. They're not going to wander too far because that's their safe haven. So your area is going to get pretty messed up, and you're not going to be able to rotate them around. So we use the greenhouses in the winter time, where they can keep dry and warm, much warmer. And then we like to rotate them on pasture in the summer. Chicken tractors for the chickens, with the electric poultry netting and moving them around, moving the chicken tractor. That way you spread out the manure, and that's the best way. Rotational pasture. Pastured poultry should be rotational pasture, ideally moving it at least once a week. That all depends on the size of your area, but any movement is better than no movement. So, and the benefit, you can do cows with chickens. So you have your cows, as I mentioned, and when the cows are done grazing that area, the cows like long grass, chickens like short grass. So you then bring the chickens to where the cows were. They like the shorter grass, so they benefit from that. They also benefit from the manure from the cows, and they'll go through the cow patties, and they'll scratch them all apart, and they'll find all those maggots. They'll eat them up. You probably don't want those maggots. The cows don't like those maggots because they turn into flies. Keeps the fly population down for the cows. So the chickens benefit the cows in that sense. And they also benefit the cows by fertilizing the grass with their high nitrogen, good balanced chicken manure organic fertilizer, which then grows very lush green grass. And then the cows come back through after the chickens were there, and the cows eat that long green grass, and then the cows are done and the chickens come back. So you can rotate in that manner. Joel Salatin talks about it a lot. He's one of the grandfathers, if you will, of pastured poultry. Been doing it, pastured everything, been doing it for 50 years plus. We've got a lot of inspiration from him, as a lot of people doing pastured poultry have. And yeah, anyways, these are some drakes. We just got some extra drakes. We could harvest some of them, but I do need a couple more for breeding, so I'll pick some of the nicest ones. I need one or two more to join our flock at the other pasture. But anyways, I'll end this video. Nice thing about the pond down there, you can see the Highlander drinking out of the pond. Don't need to bring them water. They got access to water there, so saves some labor. And in the winter time, what we did was we moved around the hay feeder, so it actually spread the manure out on pasture. And their cows are a lot tougher than you think. We were going to move them to the barn, but they seemed happy down here, and we actually didn't even have shelter for them. And as we planned, we were going to build something for them, and sometimes life gets busy, but they didn't seem to care. They had a pile of wood shavings that they laid in, and straw and whatnot, and they just were out here all winter. They were able to graze whenever they could get through the snow, which was probably over 50% of the winter. So we save on hay that way, and they, rather than having them stall the muck the whole time, you move around the manure, spread it out evenly, and then it just improves your pasture for the next season. So then once these are moved off of there, the pasture will be improved, fertilized, and save on labor. That's the one big thing about pastured poultry, is you do have labor in some senses, but it also saves on a lot of labor, and it saves on a lot of feed. In that sense, I think modern agriculture is very silly, how we bring the feed to the animals instead of bringing the animals to the feed. Actually, more so, the animals go to the feed on their own. Put them in a big field and they eat the grass, you rotate it around. That's how traditional agriculture was done. We've gone away from that, and that's what is ruining our land throughout this country and around the world. And we're trying to do quite the opposite of that, which is sustainable. It's regenerative. It improves the land, not degrades it. And it's better for the people. It's better for the birds. It's better for the ruminants. It's better for the product. It's better for the food you eat. It's nutrient dense. It tastes way better. It's full of micronutrients. Look at what are they doing right now? They're eating grass. Yeah, chickens eat grass. Oh my God. Wouldn't you imagine? I could show you pictures where in the crop of a chicken, when I harvest them, even lazy Cornish cross meat birds, there is more grass in the crop and the gizzard of that chicken than there ever is grain. And they have unlimited access to grain all the time. It saves a ton on feed. What do birds eat in the wild mostly? I believe it's like 90% insects. So you put a chicken in a barn or in a coop and they don't have any or much of a run area. And yeah, they're relying on just grain. That's all they can eat. Chickens eat weeds, Geese's favorite thing is dandelions. They weed your garden. They eat weed seeds. They like seeds. They like the bugs. They eat the pests. They'll eat ticks. They'll eat things that destroy your garden, so you can lower your insect pest population. They're going to eat some beneficial insects as well. They're probably not going to go after a bee because they've probably learned better and that kind of thing. They're going to eat grasshoppers, which can become a problem. They would eat locusts. They would lower the population of that and improve on that. But anyways, that's my rant for right now on this pasture. See if the rooster can give a crow for a sign off. No? Too busy eating grass. See how the rooster calls over the girls. If he finds goods, he calls over the girls and offers up the goodies to his girls. Oh, there's our sign off. Except not, because it might be with a rooster fight. Thought I might as well show you this. Introduce this young barred rock rooster. He's had a couple tail feathers picked off. He's been in with a group of other roosters, and he's maybe not the head rooster, but it's probably not going to go so well. But sometimes there's only one way to introduce a new rooster into a flock. I find barred rocks are pretty friendly, but he's probably going to try and fight him. He's definitely going to assert his dominance over the younger rooster and get him in line with the pecking order. I'm surprised they didn't scrap right there. That's one benefit of having a lot of space. Birds are a lot happier. The more confined they are, the more aggressive they tend to be. We do notice the only time we really have our birds pecking at each other much is in the winter months, when they're a little more confined and not able to give them as much space. A Rhode Island Red is a lot harder to introduce other roosters to. He's good at protecting his girls, but he's more aggressive. I find it's best to introduce the rooster when they're a little younger. It looks like it might go okay. Alright, I see some goose eggs and chicken eggs in there. Chickens aren't laying in the nest box I put there. I gotta get a better nest box system going. We'll do a review on these rodent-proof feeders. They do a great job. They have to step on it to open it up. Alright, well, we got that new young cockerel introduced into the flock with the barred rocks. We're going to separate some of those barred rocks to make some green egg layers, but we'll have two roosters together there, and the geese are happy on their own. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. We're also on Facebook, TikTok, and of course on YouTube. If you subscribe to YouTube, you'll see a lot of our upcoming channel videos that will be posted to this channel. Like I speak of rotating the geese on pasture, we're going to have breeding. We are planning to get into bees eventually. We've got asparagus coming up. We'll be planting our big strawberry garden and all that. And rooster's calling over the girls again. But yeah, we specialize in rare, colorful chickens, colorful egg layers, and we ship hatching eggs across Canada if you're looking. And we also have geese hatching and khaki Campbell ducks. Khaki Campbells are the best egg-laying duck in the world, 340 eggs per year on average. They beat the best egg-laying chicken in the world. That's why we got that breed. We might get into pekins and some other breeds as well. Pekins are good for meat, so we might do them. But if you like what you see, if you like what you have saw, please follow us on all the social medias, or whichever ones you would like. And comment down below if you have any questions or just want to chat. We love to talk. We like to answer questions and help people out if they have any questions getting started or with any issues they may have. We love to help out, and if you have any suggestions of videos you'd like to see, you can comment below as well. I've spoken to some videos we planned on doing in the near future, so comment below. Don't be shy. We love to talk. We try and answer everyone's comments as soon as we can. All right, thank you very much. Happy homesteading from our family to yours.